So I've been doing some work along my generational lines on my father's side to free up some things for myself and those who will come after me, including my children and grandchildren who are already here. And I started this process when I got a call that my biological dad, who hasn't been in my life, was not well. And it was kind of like a notification versus something that I needed to jump into action for, other than just sending prayers, meditation, and support and healing, however it is that his spirit team is working for him, whatever he will allow. And so in doing that work, I ended up doing some inner child work surrounding this tug of war of different programming and narratives that we have been given as far as how we are to engage with our parents. And many times we engage with them in ways that they don't want. So respecting what a person wants. And I confronted this with when my grandmother was in the hospital. All the signs said that she was ready to go. She just wanted to be left alone. And everybody around her wanted to prove that they could save her, but she had already made up her mind that what she wanted was to be at rest. And based on her belief system, she wanted to go home to God. And so everybody was trying to do everything they possibly could to keep her in this realm, in this lifetime. And so for me, I made it known to her that whatever she decided, I supported, because I understood that most of her life was spent, living for other people, doing for other people, trying to take care of other people, you know, and then sometimes we get caught up in the narratives of like, well, maybe they were doing it because they wanted things to go a certain way. It doesn't matter why. If that person's prayers and actions covered you, made sure that you were well, they came from the only place that they knew how. And if they didn't, that's something that they have to deal with, not you. And so while working on this aspect of myself, I realized that there was a part of me that wanted to save my biological dad. But there was also the spiritual healer in me that was saying, this is not you. This is not your stuff. This is not you. This is not for you to fix. Because we automatically go into, when you are someone who has healed from people pleasing, when you have healed from being everything to everybody but yourself, when you have healed, showing up, not showing up for yourself, but showing up for other people, you immediately, your thought, your subconscious goes back to those thoughts you've had before, even bringing it forward so you can say, that's not who I am. And when somebody has chosen to do things the way that they want to do them, you intervening, unless you know that that person is not hardwired into this is what I want, every aspect of my interaction or how my biological dad and I have ever engaged says that he wants to make his own decisions, that when he decides he wants to be left alone, he wants to be left alone. If he wants to be responsible for his own stuff, like every aspect of that says that. So like literally, working through that part, like most of the time we want people to choose us, and those people are incapable of choosing themselves. So I did a video recently about validation, when you're looking for validation from someone that you love because you want to know that, that person understands where you are, that person, can identify with you, you can see yourself within them. But if they can't choose themselves, if they can't validate themselves, they will never validate you. You're asking them to give you something that they don't even know how to give themselves. It was not taught to them. They didn't come here understanding it. Maybe they didn't have examples of it. So you're asking them for something that they can't even comprehend. And you want it from them. And there will be many people who will say, well, then they shouldn't have had a baby. Well, we all know that all it takes is two people in the heat of a moment to create a baby. That doesn't make you, a baby doesn't make you responsible. You have a choice to be responsible. A baby doesn't make you, choose yourself. And in some instances, if it does, you still make the choice because of. So you make the choice because of your child or this thing or a person, not because that person made you. It may have provoked a thought, but you had to make the choice. So it's just proof that throughout our lives, we have to make choices for ourselves. And the choices we make have to be intentional. Because if they aren't intentional, then they're not really choices. And they're definitely not decisions. We're just throwing things out there in hopes that someone will find them acceptable, but they're not choices. They're a smokescreen for the real choice, actually. So there may be choices in the background, but they're a smokescreen for the real choice. Because you can say, I want to have a relationship with someone, when deep down inside, you may just want to make things right so you don't have to live with the karma, the guilt, the hurt, the shame, or you don't have to ask questions about the past. And then as soon as those questions come, you start questioning whether or not that's what you truly want. But in actuality, what you wanted, you were able to articulate because you didn't realize that that's what you were really looking for. And once you did know that's what you were looking for, you would have been embarrassed to say it. And that's fine, because everybody is not a safe space to fully express yourself. So if you have a parent that's been absent, or you feel as though didn't engage with you the way that they were supposed to, understand that they were working with the understanding that they had and how somebody treated them. And they have to make choices at some point in their life to be able to better engage with you, have a relationship with you, or not to. Either way, they're choices. And once you figure out what is yours and what's not yours, then you'll stop over loving, overdoing, over showing up in ways that no one asked you, all for that person to later say, I didn't ask you to do that. You need to know what you want to do and what someone is asking you to do. And though that seems very simple, when it comes to the heart, it's not always that simple. So show yourself some grace and show them some grace as well. I hope you're well.